Our youth unemployment rate is 28%. We will inherit over $2 trillion in debt. Half of our boys grow up fatherless. 16,000 young women first get pregnant before they reach 16. In 2015, one person was murdered every 7 hours. Jamaica, it's time for Talk Up so we can fix up and kick out these issues once and for all. You ready for Talk Up on Talk Up Radio? Let's go!
The Saturday, September 29, 2018. And we're on the road again because we love the road and we love the community outreach project. But good morning, it's the Talk Up Radio Show on Nationwide 90 FM, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And today we're in one of our favorite places, Tivoli Gardens, for the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. It's actually location number 4, which is awesome because the time is just growing so fast and we're just helping so much people. We're hearing so much voices. We're learning so much about the communities. We didn't even know these things until coming in and meeting the people, and they're all so kind. They're also helpful. Boy, I feel like more moving at Tivoli. Tivoli just nice and cool. And I don't even, I wonder if I can move into all. I don't even need a fan. It's so nice and breezy. And guys, we are outside. Like, we're outside. But yes, it is the 4th of the 6 locations. We're in Tivoli Gardens. We're specifically at the community center. And I guess later on we can get somebody for giving us the directions, right? Because I'm not really sure the directions and stuff. But all I know is the road straight across from Tivoli High School. Just walk them straight down till you see the feather ban of them. That's the best we can do. But of course, you know, the Talk of Youth, community outreach is always about going into the communities, learning the good parts, learning the history, learning what they want for the future, talking to our young people, learning the issues, and if there are no issues, learning the good things, teach with whole game, where the art place them there, where the best food cook, where the juice, so I have no special juice down here, like no, carrot juice, oil, like we want to know, and of course, you know that the Talk Up Your Community Outreach is brought to you by the Digicel Foundation, and supported by, with support from the NCB Foundation, and it's a beautiful day. We have been to Almonton, we have been to Parade Gardens, we have been to Mountain View, which we did up on Rivers Canal. We did feel well hype because we did that ding dong place and beer things. So today, the demo is back. Demo is back. So if you're wondering whose male voice you're hearing that sounds familiar,
I am so ecstatic.
I wonder if him learned Mandarin.
I learned a little. I was the most polite Chinese.
Say hello, good morning.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. Yes. So our Chinese friend is back. And our British friend has gone. My dear love, Christina.
Saying hello and sending love to our dear producer, Christina, over there in Loughborough.
All the way in England.
London. Sending love, major love.
She's 6 hours away. What time now in England? I'm soon telling you the time in England. But yes, guys, I want you, if you're in the community of Tivoli, I want you to come on over to the community center. Just come share your stories with us. Tell us of the beautiful things that have happened in this community. We want to know, we want to hear, and also if you want anything, you want to talk to anybody, and if you just want to meet Empress, just come on over. We're going to take some nice little pictures for you. You're going to get to meet the Talk Up Youth team, of course, and it's just beautiful. So again, we always like to explain that we stay true to the talking up and talking out all the time, and the only way to do that is to come to you, because I do understand that sometimes we shy away from saying what we really want to say and doing what we want to do because we feel like there's nobody that is listening and there's nobody that hears it. So it's like when I feel like if we come to you, you'll probably feel a little bit more motivated to say what you're going to. So just come on over. We're here. We're ready and waiting.
Yes.
We just want to meet you and we want to learn the game. It's 5:13. Because of my friend, I have to put the dual clock on my phone.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
This is so nice.
Real best friend goals.
Best friend goals.
So I always know what time it is in London. So it's 5:30, so that means she's not sleeping. So therefore, she's listening. Good morning. Well, good evening, Miss Christina. So we're waiting on everybody. Kevon is here. Shakira is here. Demoy is here. We have so many young people here. So many youth groups. Can't wait to tell everybody. We really want to find an elder so we can hear where the community come from.
And it looks like one rolling up in here right now.
Maybe when there were no roads and then probably did have to walk through track. We don't know where it go. We see the police station across the road. Maybe we can get one of the officers them come talk to we. You're a little tractor running over there, so maybe we can get one of the little tractor persons. They're called contraction workers. But yeah.
Tractor person.
Okay, I guess we already have some people that are interested to talk, but we're going to take a break real quick on the Talk Up Radio Show on Nationwide 90 FM. Again, we're the voice of Jamaican youth, but today we're the voice of Tivoli Gardens. And of course, the Talk of Youth Community Outreach Project is brought to you by the Digicel Foundation with support from the NCB Foundation. Of course, we're bigging up the National Baking Company because we have snacks from them and water, because you don't know, we'll have to keep cool and we're getting in our bottles, we're keeping hydrated. We'll be right back on the Talk Up Radio Show. Talk up you, Musefi.
Talk up youth. We're here live and up and ready in Tivoli Gardens at our fourth stop of our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. And already we're severing up the place. Beside me is my fellow ravers, the Moy Ravers. How are you, my dear?
I am excited. Welcome, Tivoli people. We're there. I don't know about you, Shakira, but I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be in Tivoli. I'm excited to learn about everything about Tivoli and what this community has been doing over the years and what they can do. Plus, I'm excited to be with you.
And I'm happy to have you back. So we're just going to jump right into it. And of course, important to anything that Talk Up Youth does, Talk Up Youth Community Outreach or a TV show or radio show, we have to always talk to the youth and get right now what is the present state of the community. So before me, I have two vibrant young people. I'm just going to ask them to introduce themselves, starting with our young gentleman.
Well, my name is Andrew Boat. I'm in the Tivoli Gardens Drum Corps and Drill team. Yeah, and I'm 25. Spent all my life in Tivoli Garden. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm here.
Hello, good morning. My name is Imani Jones, a second-year student at the Caribbean Maritime University. I've been in Tivoli all my life, too.
All right, nice. So we're just going to jump right into
Yeah,
it.
man. Let me just ask you, how is it, well, tell us what the drum corps, the drumming group, what do you guys do? And what's the actual name?
Well, it done a lot. Seeing, teach young youths them for stay off the road. You know what I mean? Take up some of them time. You know what I mean? More while sit down on the corner. That is not worth it. You know what I mean? Just stay in the community all advise more while. You know what I mean? Come to training. I'm my best bass drummer right now. Mm-hmm. And I want to shout it out to my best boss, Stalin Williams.
Yeah, big up Stalin Williams.
Yeah.
Stalin Williams, big up yourself. But do they teach teach you guys how to play the instruments here?
Yeah. Yeah, we teach you a lot.
Awesome, sounds good. And how many persons are involved in the drum corps?
Like 80 and more.
80?
Yeah.
80?
80 and more, that's a lot.
Oh, that's interesting.
For you, Miss Jo Imani, you said that before during our break that you are part of youth groups here in Tivoli. Would you mind telling us what those youth groups are?
I am a part of the Faces of Tivoli Garden Youth Group and the Police Youth Club. These two youth clubs, we have programs that we target the youngsters of the community to get them off the street, give them a mindset of what is outside, what they can get outside and not only here and whatever.
Awesome. And how many persons attend both youth clubs?
Currently, both the Police Youth Club is at art because we don't have a
meeting space.
We don't have a meeting space. But the Faces of Tivoli, we are still working. Our last project was in March where we had the Sister Speak at the Tivoli Gardens High School, where we had females from the school. We have persons coming to speak to them about based on career-wise and so on.
Wow, Sister Speak. That's the name of it. That's interesting.
That sounds very good. What I want to ask both of you though, how is it growing up in Tivoli? How was it, from the younger days, what you guys used to do? Because Shakira and I want to feel a part of the community,
So bring us on the journey.
Yeah, man.
Well, for me, remember sometime we usually go see, you know what I mean, go see and get all cut. Mother usually beat me and say stay off the road. You know what I mean? And sometime sitting on the corner play football, you know what I mean, shout it out to Funny Terrace, you know what I mean? Yeah. Best street in the West.
Best street in the West.
Funny Terrace?
Yeah.
Where's that? which side?
Up that side.
Up that side?
Yeah.
I wonder if we can go up there later. Enrico, talk to me afterwards.
All right, so I want to hear from you as well. You mentioned Sister Speak just now, but take us on the journey from the beginning as well. What was one thing that you can remember that you loved to do when you were growing up here?
Well, I am an house person. Like, my father is all about the books. So we didn't do much. Like, if we come downstairs, we like play soccer and pool and those games, but I didn't do much. I am an house person.
You're a house
You
person.
remember soccer and pool, Shakira?
Yes, I do. We used to love playing games when I grew up, so yeah, I remember it. So based on our research, because what happens is when we're coming to the communities, Talk Up Youth likes to venture into getting information about it before we come here. And it highlighted for us that some of the major issues that you guys face here is unemployment, illiteracy, and crime and violence. So I want to know if you see these issues being a part of the community and how they affect you. Starting with you, Imani.
Well, it is an issue, but those issue is not. It's an issue in the community, but me not really face that issue there about the because.
Right.
But do you know of friends, people around in your community that face that issue?
Yes, numerous persons. Like unemployment rate inside here is sky high because, like, for instance, they send out a resume and they see that the address is in Tivoli. You're not getting that job because of your address. So unemployment is sky high in Tivoli.
Yeah, man. And I just want to get from you, are these issues affecting, do you feel that these issues affect the community?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. For real.
But I noticed that they were hesitant, Shakira, in answering. So I want to know, all right, so these are the issues that we found in our research. But do you know of any other issues that are affecting the community of Tivoli Gardens?
No, not what I'm thinking.
So these are the major three. All right, so you said that you've lived there all your life, Andrew. How has the community developed? What are some of the things that you can point out and say, yeah, man, that changed, that never used to happen? How has it developed since you've been alive and growing up here?
Like the roads, this community center, this is beautiful, by the way. I don't think we have something like this in my community, And I see there on the wall, it was established in 1970, probably older than you. But how growing up have you seen a huge transformation or a change in Tivoli Gardens?
Well, for me, the netball court up there.
Netball court.
Yeah.
So what do people do there now besides playing netball, and how has that helped to kind of build the community spirit of Tivoli?
Yeah, by playing football. Yeah.
All right.
That's really good. Well, I want to ask you though, Andrew, are you pleased with the quality here in Tivoli Gardens so far? The quality of life, the fact that you can go on the road. I don't think you guys are affected much with that way. You can, if something is wrong with you, you can shout to your neighbor and say, yo, boss, so and so and so. Are you appreciative of the quality of life here?
Yes, I appreciate it, yeah.
All right. So joining in with us now, we have Shakira Henry. Hey, Shakira, how are you?
Not Henry, actually.
Is which one?
Hi, good morning. My name is actually Shakara Dockery.
Oh, Shakara, sorry.
Dockery.
Apology accepted.
No.
All right, so tell us about yourself. Where are you from? And have you been living here all your life in Tivoli Gardens?
As I said before, my name is Shakara Dockery. I've been living in Tivoli Gardens practically all my life. I'm the president for the Tivoli Gardens Police Youth Club.
Yes.
I'm also part of the Faces of Tivoli group. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Shakara, thank you for joining us. What I want to ask you though, how is the community spirit here in Tivoli? Because, I noticed I was lost earlier. Somebody just shouted, say, yo, the people ever come right? They say, I go, man, dada. Don't worry yourself. So I want to know, how is the community and the spirit here?
The spirit of the community.
All right. Where that is concerned, I mean, at any given time, as a stranger coming in the community, you probably, like the bunch of you walking in, you'd have somebody probably stopping you and asking you where you're going, where you're looking for, just to assist you. But I remember one time when we were just meeting the chairman for the
the parish youth council?
No, man. His name is Neville Charlton.
Oh, positive organization.
Organization.
Neville Charlton.
Yeah. I remember when the first time they came down here, and when we met them half the way, he was really scared, asking us if they're gonna take his phone and all of that. But when he got into the community and we brought them around and he saw the vibrance in the community, he was actually pleased and he never stopped coming here.
Oh, yes. And we heard from Anja and we heard from Imani. I want to hear from you. How has it developed over the period since you've been here? What are some of the changes that you can see that are unique in the development of Tivoli?
All right. Post incursion, there has been a lot of changes. As you can see, the roads are being developed. The pipings are being replaced because now we're gonna have to start paying, NWC.
So prior to that, there wasn't proper, we call it plumbing infrastructure within the community.
There wasn't. I mean, you have for a few persons, like the persons living on the building, probably the persons on the third to last floor, weren't able to get water up to that. So they would have to purchase the huge water tanks and like their pumps to get water up on that level. And yeah.
So what are some of the things, if somebody came up to you and asked, what are some of the things that you love about your community? What would be your top 3?
All right, my top 3 would be my peers, the person that I do my youth work with.
You love them.
They'll be the number 1. And the fact that I love my community on a whole, I love this place. It is what makes me the person that I am today. And I don't know, the history of my community.
So the history.
Both the good and the bad. Because it is what makes us who we are today.
Yes, so your peers, the history, and just the fact that you have a great love for your community. Awesome sauce. So we just spoke to Andrew Booth, we just spoke to Imani Jones, and we just spoke to Shikara Dockery, and we're here in Tivoli Gardens on the 4th stop of our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project, and with that we're going to throw to a break. Talk Up Youth, Mr. Safi. Talk Up Youth. All right. And of course, we do it for the love here, not for the likes. We're in Tivoli Gardens live on our 4th stop in our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. And we have to big up the Digicel Foundation as well as the NCB Foundation for their constant support. We have to big up National Baking Company as well as Water and Cran Water for cooling us down and for keeping us snacking. And we're just going to jump right back into it. We had in the last segment Shikara Dockery, Imani Jones, and Andrew Booth, who we spoke to about some of the things that they'd like to highlight about their community. And so we want to thank them rather for joining us, and we're going to jump right back into learning. And we have before us 2 gentlemen who are going to go ahead and introduce themselves, starting with...
Shaquille, my name is Shaquille Henry. I'm the president and founder for Faces of Tivoli Gardens, and we work closely along with the Tivoli Gardens Police Youth Club.
All right.
My name is Wade Brown.
Hold on. Your name is...
The name is Wade Brown. I'm the president of the Community Development Committee.
All right, nice. Thank you guys for joining us. And I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, Shaquille, tell us a little bit about Faces of Tivoli.
All right, so Faces of Tivoli Gardens is a non-profitable organization. As you know, Faces of Tivoli Gardens was started out of a cause for a cause. Back in 2015, where an electrical fire leave 15 family homeless, including me, myself, right in the time to start university. Books burn up, new computer, clothes, everything. Whoa. We then partner with Danisha Prendergast, which is Bob Marley granddaughter, and Michael Kushney, who reach out to Digicel, and Digicel Jamaica played a huge part in helping every single children get back to school, along with Aisha Dawes Allen from Gift of Love Foundation.
Wow.
So that's where Faces of Tivoli Garden started out.
And what are some of the highlight impacts that you can say that it has had over the period of years?
The highlighted impacts it have, we impacted around 9 young girls in 2016, where we host the Tivoli Garden Pageant and Community Festival. Then we have like a cleanup where we clear the debris from the burned out building in 2016. So 2016 was our major year. Then we have we started a series called Sisters and Brothers Speak back in 2017 last year, which we continue back over to this year. So we have Sisters Speak out further in March, and we're planning on having Brothers Speak in November at the Tivoli Gardens High School. So
Wow,
we're kind of use that as a pilot program.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow,
man.
wow.
Sounds good. So Wade, thank you for joining us this morning. Tell us about CDC and what it has been doing in Tivoli Gardens and the part that you play.
Yeah, well, the CDC, the Tivoli Gardens CDC, is basically the umbrella organization of all the community development organizations in the community. So I was from one of them, a youth club as well, Tivoli Gardens Visionaries, and I was the president there, and I was elected president of the CDC. Now at the CDC, what we do is that we try to put in place address all the developmental issues in the community. So we look at summer schools, we look at Saturday classes, we have competitions to encourage the youth, we look at the spelling bee, we have our West Kingston spelling bee that was organized here in Tivoli Gardens, we have a Christmas tree lighting ceremony, which we partner with the other organizations in the community. We look at the street cleaning, we look at environmental waters, any developmental issue that you have in the community. It is our mission to represent these organizations and get them together.
Awesome. And you know, it's so good. The plans that you have on what you've been doing sounds very good. But I want to get from you, Dwayne, Wade, what is your vision for Tivoli Gardens?
Well, I guess it's a cliche, making it the place of choice to live, work, raise family.
That's Vision 2030.
Yes, and that's my vision for the community, and that was what my youth organization was formed on, the visionaries. We wanted to see Tivoli as this place of choice. We believe that we have this infrastructure, we have the people, and we have the vision, and I believe that it can happen with hard work and dedication and the buy-in from all the citizens here.
As cliche as it sounds, Shakira, it's so powerful. Tivoli Gardens, the place to work, the place of choice
to live, work, raise families, and do business.
I love it. And let me get from you, Shakir, because you're let me get from you. What's your vision for Tivoli Gardens?
My vision for my community is to as you know, over the years, we have stamped with that negative stigma what persons see us as from the outside, but persons don't really come on the inside to know what the community is really like. So my vision is to just eradicate all of that stigma that is aligned with my community, with positivity. I just want to ensure that a lot of positivity coming out of my community. Even sometime I want to migrate, and I was like, no, people still look at my community as that place. I want people to look at my community as the place to live, work. I seem to what Wade said, aligning it with Vision 2030. So I want my community to be that place.
And listeners, I wish you could see Shakir's face right now, because he is literally lighting up, just talking about where he sees his community, what he envisions for it. And it's funny because that's the same passion that I've been seeing equally in all the communities that we visited, because there's just this sense of stigma attached to it from the outside, and until you come on the inside and get to know the happenings of the community, then you really won't know.
But I can understand, why Shaquille and Wade is working on this, because I had a similar situation this morning. I'll tell you guys off the air. Probably I'll ask Shakir if I can say it on here. But I understand the need and the desire to change the look of Tivoli Gardens and how persons perceive it on the outside. And with that being said, how can you guys, what assistance would you want from the residents of Tivoli in achieving
this vision?
Support. Nothing but support. I can't say nothing else, just the support.
Just support. But before we go over to Wade to answer the question, are they buying into that vision?
And not to me.
And what do you think attributes to that? Why aren't they buying into it?
Because we think we need to promote it more. We're a bit laid back.
Oh, in the promotion?
Yeah, in promotion we're a bit laid back because a lack of funding sometimes. So we get a little laid back. So you become frustrated when you have to balance your personal life
with
plus community work, school work. So sometimes we become laid back.
Okay, I understand. And for you, Wade, what support would you need from the residents to see this vision come to life?
I'd really love for more support from them as well, but I'd also want for them to add their voice. I believe that the solution is here. I believe that the solution is within the community, and I believe that we don't need somebody outside to tell us what we need. We know Tivoli best. So we should come together, support each other, and look at how we can address these issues as a community. And that's what I really like from it.
And what support would you need from citizens of Jamaica? What area of support would you need them to come in and help your journey along this vision?
And even the government. How can the citizens of Jamaica and the government on a whole assist you in achieving this vision that you have for Tivoli Gardens?
Well, I'm coming from the days where we've had, Saturday classes where we actually have to write on the wall without children having seat. They have to sit on the floor. That is something that you only find in the most poorest communities. And I believe that programs like these, we should, have the support of private sector, because they want Tivoli to change. Everybody wants the community to change. They want a better Jamaica. So I really would love for that type of support.
And for you, Shaquille?
More partnership.
More partnership?
Yeah, we need more partnership.
All right, specifically, do you have any upcoming projects that you would need them to jump on board with?
With the brother Tivoli Gardens High School has reached out to me and the group the other day saying that the vice principal over there, Boys Day, he wants a whole month of activity for Boys Day, which is November, because in November I think there's an international men month. I don't remember if it was the 25th. So they have reached out to us and say the sisters and brothers speak. They like the entire initiative. So if we could do the brothers speak for November, the entire month of November, that would be good. So that's the
stuff
program we're looking into.
All right, so Brother Speak is coming up. Do you have any upcoming projects, Wade?
Yeah, man. We have our Saturday classes, and we have our Step to Pep program, which we're actually trying to address the pep, the whole mistake of this pep.
Mistake.
The mystique.
Oh, mystique.
Oh, okay. Mystique behind the pep program. We're also looking at a mentorship program that we're trying to, which is similar to the Brother Speak, and we have a whole 9-yard educational projects that we want to implement.
Amazing.
And our table tennis group, the different sport organizations that we start in the community to engage youth.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, man.
We want to thank you, Wade and Shaquille, for joining us. Wade representing the CDC and Shaquille from Faces of Tivoli. And with that, we're just going to take a short break. We'll be right back on the Talk Up Radio program, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Talk Up Youth, Masefi. Talk Up Youth. All right. Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And we are here live in Tivoli Gardens, learning a lot, taking in the cool breeze. And we have to say big up to all of the guests that we've had on the show so far, because they have indeed been expanding our knowledge. And we're going to move on to getting even more information about the community in a bit. But just a matter of history to recap, we just want to let you know that Tivoli Gardens, if you research it, you'll find out that, it was formerly known as Bacawal, and it used to be referred to as the worst slum in the Caribbean. However, it has since been developed, especially between the years of 1963 and 1965 by Edward Siaga, and he entered the community in 1961, and in 1963 he was elected to the office representing the Jamaica Labour Party, and has since then been appointed as the Minister of Development. He facilitated the redevelopment of the area as Tivoli Gardens. It was named for the Tivoli Cinema located nearby, which was later renamed the Queen's Theatre. So we're coming from rich history. I think Shikara had said that, one of the things that she loves about the community is the history of it. And if you do take in the history of Tivoli, you see that it's coming from
this community really is a testimonial when you do speak about redevelopment. Because if we had the time, you'd see some clips from back then where Bacawal, it was like one huge wall with a big slum board and stuff like that, and to see it redevelopment into a beautiful community as it is, it's really good. So
we're just going to jump right in and ask our guests to introduce themselves as per usual, starting with the gentleman to my left.
Hello everybody, I'm the Reverend Colonel Andre Chantilou, Commander for the Black Eagle Cadet Corps.
All right, and to his right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Major J. Robinson, Deputy Commander of the Black Eagle Cadet Corps.
All right, so starting with you, Mr. Chantiloop. I'm focusing on this last name because I find it so unique.
It's so unusual.
Yeah.
Chantiloop.
Chantiloop. So tell us a little bit about your work here in Tivoli.
All right, so my work here in Tivoli is something that I really enjoy, being a cadet officer and also in charge of the Pioneer Training Engineering Academy, where we offer skills and CXC subjects, recently established here. The community, let me just say, the community is exceptional. The people here, they are different. They are fun, they are loving. Are you
from the community?
I'm not from the community, but I work within the community. And when you work within an area, when you're not from an area and you work within the area and people show you a lot of love, it is something to talk about.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Tell us
about some of your involvement here in the community.
Well, my involvement in the community, I'm the training officer for the cadet section. What we do is we try to help at-risk youths, give them something else to do other than just be on the road idling and picking up bad stuff.
Yeah, man, picking up bad behavior and stuff like that.
Adapting to negative attitudes.
Right.
So as a trained teacher and a minister of religion, I focus mainly on the spiritual development and the social development. And that's where the Pioneer Training Academy comes in. We offer hard training courses and CXC subjects. And I also do counseling in the afternoons. And you'll find out that many of our at-risk youths, they do have a lot of challenges, and we try to cater for their challenges. We try to do whatever we can to ensure that they don't turn to the negative elements. And we always say that the yin versus yang, good always overpower bad.
All right, nice. And I like how you segue into that. You mentioned some challenges that you focus on helping them with. Highlight 3 of those challenges that you've seen among our youth.
All right, so 3 of those.
3 issues.
3 issues, yes. One, it is the proper parenting. One is also financial, and the other is lack of educational opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Educational opportunities?
Yes.
Explain a bit.
All right, so due to the lack of financial resources, students seldom attend school. So we normally find them loitering on the streets and so on. So whenever you come in the community, you'll find that maybe about 30 or 40% of the youth that live here, they lack that. And so we try to foster for them a holistic change. Yes.
So the issue really isn't illiteracy.
Right.
But
illiteracy.
That's what I was trying to understand.
They don't want to use that big word.
And for you, Jervin, in your training of the youth, do you find that they're buying into the vision of, what it is that you're trying to develop in them? Do you find that they're gravitating towards it?
Yes, they are gravitating to it, but it's taking some time. Because, when you're giving kids a new thing, you're going to take some time before they get used to it. They're used to the bad mentality, and we're trying to give them discipline. So we're getting a fight at the same time we're having students that's getting to it better. And since I've started, we have people that excel. We have a member now that's going to the Maritime University.
Okay, that's
he
good.
Came up to us, and I gave him a recommendation, and he got through. He began last week Monday.
That's wonderful. How many persons are part of this program?
Our numbers are steadily increasing, but we have over 100 cadets now on the rebel.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And to tell you, we have persons come from like Holy Childhood, Denham Town, Tivoli Gardens, all over Jamaica. And currently, there should be about 13 persons come with me from Manchester, but because of, people get scared and shy, so they turn down at the last minute. But
scared and shy of the area?
Based on what they have heard.
The perception.
Right. And I want to say this to Jamaican public. The stigma attached to Tivoli is not true.
Yes.
And it is disingenuous. You need to come here and see for yourself, understand for yourself, get to know the people. To be frank with you, on Thursday, I went across the road and I went to get some lunch. And I sat there playing dominoes with the people. These are lovely people.
Yes.
And these are people who just want the opportunity to make the change possible.
Yeah, man, that's true. And I was just going to ask you about the success. How successful has your program been?
The program has reached a lot of successes. As I said, as Jovan said, that there's one person, one officer who is currently at the Caribbean Maritime University. Jovan himself has his first degree in computer animation.
Nice.
He's the adjutant. He's the chief's adjutant. So whatever we want to do, he's always the one we can call. And we have also our regimental sergeant major who is leaving the country sometime this afternoon to go overseas. we have a lot of success.
Great.
Them say success that come overnight, but it's something that we aim for. We don't settle for mediocrity, we aim for success. As we say, we are eagles, and eagles don't settle for nothing low enough, they go the highest. The sky's the limit.
Nice.
Eagles soar.
Why? And what is your vision for Tivoli?
Our vision for Tivoli is to see it's a first-class community. First class in the entire aspect of the word first class. First class in academics, first class in workforce training, first class in behavior, first class in just about every single thing you could think of.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And what is your vision, Jeremiah?
Well, this is a coming home for me because I may not live in Tivoli, but I was born in Tivoli. So this is a coming home to one of my birthplace to give a change to it and make everyone come up.
Yes.
To change and to foster growth.
To change and foster growth. Amazing. And if you could, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, you know, we've been doing this for a while. We know each other's thoughts. I was going to ask if there was one thing they want to tell the young people of the community, and I know that's what you're going to ask. If there's one thing that you want to tell the youth of Tivoli Gardens, what would that be? Starting from Javon.
For the youth of Tivoli, people say where you come from is how you are, but it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. Mm-hmm. You have the power to determine your future. You let what the community stigma has define your future, define your own future, make a difference.
Make a difference. And you, Rev
I will use
Chantilly.
Yes, I use the scripture to say, study to show yourself approved, a workman needed not to be ashamed, but rightly divided in the words of truth. And truth in its sense, it shows in your persona, how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself. And once you live in truth and walk in truth, then nobody will ever say, because you're from Tivoli, nothing good no come from here. I lie, I tell the best set of people come from Tivoli.
Talk up youth. Wow. Amazing things. We've been indeed learning a lot. And on that note, we are going to go to a short break, coming to you live from Tivoli Gardens, the fourth stop in our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. And it has indeed been amazing. Talk Up Youth, Mr. Faye. Talk Up Youth. Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. We are brought to you this Saturday by the Digicel Foundation with support from the NCB Foundation. We have to always big up the National Baking Company for keeping us, the youth, snacking, and Water and Crown Water for cooling us down. And we have to say a big thank you to all the people who have come out today to join us. Thank you, because you have been increasing our knowledge about Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens is the fourth stop in our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project, and our vision for this project is to inspire our youth in these communities to effect change and to do this one community at a time, which will, in the bigger picture, help to impact Jamaica. So we're going to go on to another enlightening interview, but this time, Demoy, I think you want to go ahead and
do this one?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll have him introduce himself, and we can talk, because we have a good amount of time to talk. But a part of this program, this outreach program that we do, we try to encourage other youth organizations and youth leaders to come with us to the communities, to listen to the issues and provide solutions, and based on the different organizations that they represent, help to offer assistance using their organization. Funny thing, when Shaquille was talking earlier about the face and the image and the perception that persons have of Tivoli Gardens, when I agreed with him earlier, saying, that I can understand this is true, because in asking some of these youth leaders, the issue of security came up. So I understood clearly when even Shikara gave the testimony about the Positive Organization chairman. So that is the issue that we are faced with. But we do have a lone soldier who chatted with us today, and we're very grateful for him to be here today. So we're just going to ask him to introduce himself, and we'll continue the conversation.
Good afternoon, Jamaica, and to all of our listeners. It's good to be here with the Talk Up Youth crew. My name is Damon Scarlett, and I represent a church organization, the Associated Gospel Assemblies, in the capacity as National Youth President. And I have been doing youth work with other organizations for a number of years. and it's not the first time in Tivoli Gardens, so I was more inspired to be here this afternoon.
Awesome.
Before I go into what you were doing here previously in Tivoli Gardens, I want to find out first, why did you decide to come here today? And even if you were invited, what was the deciding factor beyond you deciding that, okay, I'm going to come on here on Saturday and be a part of this?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Thanks for asking that. Well, most of my life, not old, but still young enough, but I've been doing youth work for a number of years, and I have a passion and a heart for working with young people. And it's important when other young persons who have been exposed, have been experienced, can come alongside the younger youth and to help them to grow into their different giftings and the talents that they have.
All right, nice. And tell us a little bit about yourself as well as the organization. What entirely is your mandate as being a part of?
Okay, so as I said before, my name is Damien. Actually, a final year student at the Jamaica Theological Seminary, so involved in studying theology and involved with ministry. And for me, I look at the fact that the young people of our country are the future of Jamaica. And so we have a responsibility as younger persons, adults, and as a church, corporation, entity, to come alongside the youth, as I said before, and to help them to grow. And that's my desire, to see a Jamaica that is growing, and because we have invested in the life of the youth.
And the organization?
Right, and the organization. So currently, as I said before, I'm the national youth president of our church organization called the Associated Gospel Assemblies, where I work with a team of persons who we do a number of work with the young people in the churches, the local youth fellowship groups, but more so we also try our best to work with communities. So just recently, a couple months ago, we weren't in Tivoli, but we had an outreach in the Trenchtown community where we reached out to the families there, the young people there, just offering them back to school supplies, praying with them, just trying to talk with them and investing in their lives.
All right.
And I just want to ask, what are your thoughts of Tivoli as a community on a whole? And I probably want to get from you, what were your thoughts prior to, and what are your thoughts now that you've been here more than once?
Interesting. I think growing up for most persons, well, let me speak for myself. Growing up, watching the news, and you're reading the newspapers, and you're seeing different stories, hearing different stories about Tivoli Gardens, and it's almost like, oh, that's a community you don't want to go into, you know. And there are a lot of persons out there like that. When they hear these stories, they're very fearful, not wanting to interact, not wanting to come anywhere near such a community. But given the circumstances of what happened here a couple of years ago, and the organization that I volunteered with, Inter-School Christian Fellowship, we came into the community and we interacted, we met with the different students in the different high schools. I've actually done devotion at Tivoli High School some years ago, and just being on the ground, hearing the issues, talking to the young people, talking to the teachers, talking to the families, I get an idea of what they're going through, and you recognize that they're not different from anybody else. They're also human. They're also persons who need to be reached out to, need to be connected with. And so having had that experience, having coming in, giving training, listening and counseling with the young people, it's a very good thing, and I'm excited about those things. And just to be here this afternoon and just listening to the success stories of the members of the Tivoli Gardens community, it's an awesome thing.
Nice. And you highlighted just now that, being on the ground, hearing the issues, you get an understanding of what they're going through. I want to hear from you, what are the top 3 issues that you're always hearing coming from the persons in the community?
Well, someone touched it earlier on when we spoke about unemployment, and that is something that goes right across the board in most communities. And I think as we grow and as we strive to get that Vision 2030 Jamaica that we want, is that we have to find ways and means, not only as churches, but corporate Jamaica, government, to come alongside these communities and to see how best we can help them to find jobs.
Yes.
One of the ways of doing that is we have to, even as a church, to help our young people to discover their talents, their God-given talents, their natural abilities that they have, and ensuring that they grow in that, they develop a skill, and so therefore they can launch out into society and be great young men and great young women.
Well, you kind of went into the other question that I was going to ask you about how do you think through collaboration of youth groups from outside of Tivoli Gardens and the persons within Tivoli Gardens, can we come together and help them to achieve some of the things that they want to achieve in the community? Because as you would have heard earlier, they have a lot of goals, they have a lot of vision, and I think one of the takeaways from it was when Mr. Brown had said that, he wants Tivoli Gardens to be the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. So how do you think some youth groups from outside, youth leaders, youth organizations can come together?
Your organization can collaborate with the youth of Tivoli Gardens to achieve this goal and this vision.
What you find is that building relationships are important. So even before you talk about doing the research before you're coming into the community, doing the research is good, but also coming in and spending time to observe is also
even
important.
better.
And I think that is where we should start, by coming in, observing, having the discussions, building one-to-one relationships. And the ways how we can help them, young people need training. Right across the board. So in terms of helping them to discover their purpose and their talents, they also need that kind of leadership training. So we need development seminars, so church groups, other corporations can partner together to come in and to train our youth in these communities to be of excellence. Because if we want them, because we want Tivoli Gardens, we want all these inner city communities to excel and to grow.
Right.
And so we want success stories from these communities. And so we have to come in, partner with them, give them the training, equip them with the right tools that they need, and to help them to understand that they are no different from any other young person in society, and they too can make it. Coming in, helping them to understand that they're special, they were made for a specific purpose, God has a plan for their lives, reminding them of those things. And because we represent the church, and so we have to speak positivity in the lives of our youth, and that is important.
Amazing. So you're saying we need more training. Yes. They could collaborate to do more training. Development seminars are important. Helping each and every youth in Tivoli Gardens, in every community across Jamaica, to achieve their purpose and their vision, and as much as possible to speak positivity into their lives. So with that, we are
about to take a break.
Yes, we are.
But what I want to hear from Damien before he goes though. One advice that you'd give the youth of Tivoli Gardens? Just one.
That can be a tough question. Never give up. Life is filled with many challenges. And sometimes it's easy for us to see challenges as a stumbling block, but really and truly challenges are to come to help us to grow and so we can excel and push further. So I would say in the midst of the challenges of life, never give up and continue to working towards your dream, because you can make it. If anyone can make it, they can make it too.
That's so powerful. You hear that, guys, from Tivoli? Never give up. Thank you, Damien Scarlett.
No problem. It's always a pleasure talking to Shakira and Demo.
With that being said, we have to go to our break. I'll see you on the next side of this break. Talk up youth, Miss Effie.
Talk up youth.
Welcome back to the voice of the Jamaican Youth Talk Up Radio Show. If you don't know by now, I'm Demoy Whiteley, and with me is my lovely co-host
Shakima. My name is Shakira. Thank you guys for joining us. We're back. We are back, and we have been here from morning in Tivoli Gardens for our fourth stop in the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. And with that, we have to say a big up to all the guests who have been joining us so far, because as I said before, we've been learning. And we have to give a shout out to the Digicel Foundation as well as the NCB Foundation. But in this moment in time, we're going to be highlighting the Digicel Foundation. Now, the Digicel Foundation has been in operation since 2004. Since then, they have funded projects that empower the communities in which they operate, thus completing over 762 successful projects. That is a lot, and that's amazing. The main areas funded by the foundation include innovation in education, special needs, and community development. And we are now joined by a product of the Digicel Foundation funding, Mr. Winston Williams, who is going to go ahead and tell us a little bit about himself and the organization that he's representing today.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As you said, my name is Winston Williams, and Presently, I am the counselor for the Fathers United for Change. That is our organization based in Trenchtown.
All right.
Awesome.
So tell us a little bit.
Basically, what we do, we specialize in parenting, and we cater and mentor at-risk youth, boys that are really at risk of getting into crime, violence, gangs, and that kind of stuff. We try to find employment for them. We try to gear them and steer them towards heart programs and any positive programs that could contribute to the development of their community.
Awesome. So what I want to find out from you, Mr. Williams, how did this group start?
Okay, Fathers United started because a group of guys in the community looked around one day and realized that we can't continue living this way. And that if there's any change that's going to take place, we have to do it ourselves. And we have to make a change. Because if it get any worse, the next generation won't have anyone to turn to seek advice or seek wisdom. So we have to become the change.
All right. So, and I'm not sure if you said it earlier, but where do you operate? Where does Fathers United for Change operate? And since its inception, what are some of the changes that you've seen in the community?
Well, we operate in Trenchtown.
In Trenchtown?
Right. And we mainly deal with Trenchtown, but we go outside of the community as well to help to spread the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding that we have gained from our experience. Okay? We go as far as Rockford and Waterhouse, all over the place. Like right now, we're right here in Tivoli. So we don't allow ourselves to get restricted by boundaries.
Yes.
By any community boundaries or district boundaries, because we look at Jamaica as one place.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. So tell us, what age group does Fathers United for Change cater to?
Well, officially, we cater to young men, specifically young men, but also we deal with young women. But we specifically deal with young men between the ages of 15 and 25. But that's the official. There's an unofficial aspect to what we do as well. Unofficially, we cater to any one of the kids that need our help.
Yes.
Because we can't afford to leave anybody behind.
Yeah, man, can't leave them behind.
Right.
And what are some of the activities that you engage in?
Well, we engage in mentoring, for one. We go to the schools and speak to the kids. For example, Charlie Smith High School or any one of those other schools in the area would call us if, for example, one incident I could tell you about where the grade 10 class in all of the grade 10 kids was acting up in Charlie Smith, and they called our organization to come in there and speak to them. So we gathered everybody in one room and we give them a strong talking to, because everybody in our organization have been there, done that.
And I also want to highlight, before Mr. Williams continues, that the Fathers United for Change program is now under the Queen's Young Leaders program, and it's made available through the Digicel Foundation. The group has also received the funds towards developing their curriculum and the ability to empower young people. The QYL program includes grants to organizations across the Commonwealth that offer new opportunities and skills to young people, which help to pave the way for them to have a positive impact on their community. And that is some awesome backing that your program has. So I want to know, how did you hear about the Digicel Foundation and the Queen's Young Leaders program?
Well, actually, this is the second grant that we
received from them.
Not from Digicel. We receive our second grant from Digicel.
Yes.
The first grant came from USA through Comet, and we were able to secure that. We put a container up, transformed that refurbished it into a wholesale, and the second grant we acquired from Digicel. Apparently somebody from the Queen's group came to Jamaica, met with one of us, got a tour, liked what they saw, went back and recommended us. They actually heard about the Digicel grant before we did, and then they recommended us for the Digicel grant. And so we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, and did our homework in securing the proposal, and we got the grant. We acquired a second container. We used half of that as storage, and another half we used to build our office. And we still have plans to do more building to set up our center.
Awesome.
So we've been able to do a lot with that.
And what plans do you have to expand it? What is your vision for the organization? Where do you see it reaching? What's your vision?
Ultimately, our vision is to be able to be in a position where we could provide jobs for our people in the community. Because when all is said and done, if you're going to prevent young men and young women from getting into trouble, getting into crime, you have to have something to offer them. You have to have an alternative for them. And one of the best alternative is to have jobs for them.
Right,
if you don't have jobs for them, what's the point?
That's true. And I want to say that you've been here and you've been seeing the happenings of the broadcast. What is one advice that you would give to even members of the Tivoli community who might be listening and want to know how it is that they can be a part of organizations such as yours to help to improve the standing of their community? What advice would you give to them?
Well, my advice to not only to Tivoli but to Jamaica in general, our generation, there's a generation gap. And that generation gap exists because there's a disconnect between the younger generation and the older generation. And the reason for that disconnect is because we are not communicating.
Mm-hmm.
We're not communicating in the way that we should. And the reason for a lot of crime and a lot of the attitudes that you see is because there's no understanding of how they are connected to the society. They don't understand how their actions have consequences and how that consequences can mushroom out into other areas of society. For example, a young man get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he gets shot, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. There's got to be a doctor somewhere who's going to treat him. There's got to be a nurse somewhere who's going to treat him. And there's got to be a hospital to house that doctor and that nurse. And there's got to be police reports and other things blossom out of that.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Yes.
So if a young man doesn't see how his behavior or his action connects to everything else, then he's going to think he's on his own. He's going to think that what he does doesn't matter to anybody else, when in fact it does. Everything you do in a society that is all-inclusive is going to impact other aspects of that society.
Yeah, man, and we appreciate that, Mr. Williams. That was Winston Williams, a counselor of the Fathers United for Change. On that note, we have to take a break. Mr. Williams, what we do though? We're going to introduce you to what we do every time we're going out. We'll say talk up youth, myself, and then everybody says talk up youth. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. Talk up youth, myself.
Talk up youth. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, brought to you by the Digicel Foundation with the support of the NCB Foundation. We just want to big up National Baking Company for keeping us snacking right, and of course water and crown water for cool we don't, because you know it's Jamaican and normal. Right. Besides we have Shakira. So you hear Shakira voice chipping in. We have Shakira, and we also have some persons with us from the NCB Foundation.
Right. So we just had the Digicel Foundation interview with Mr. Winston Williams, and we want to say a big thank you to him for joining us here on location in Tivoli Gardens, the fourth stop in our Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. Now, the NCB Foundation was formalized in 2003 as the philanthropic arm of the country's largest homegrown bank, the National Commercial Bank. NCB gladly accepts its role and responsibility as a corporate citizen to provide opportunities that will chart a course for our future generations. And of course, we can't have an NCB Foundation minute without having some of the persons who benefited from them. So we're going to ask them right now to go ahead and introduce themselves, starting with the gentleman to my left.
So my name is Tyreek Anderson, and I am the 2016 scholarship recipient from the Icon Group, and I am a student teacher at the Jamaica University studying mathematics.
Nice.
Hi everyone, I'm Mandy Stewart. I'm the insurance advisor for NCB Insurance Company.
All right, and I don't know if you guys hear and recognize Tyreek's voice. Tyreek was actually with us in Mountain View at our last stop, and he's back with us this morning to help us get some more knowledge about life insurance. But we're just going to start a little bit with Mandy, Miss Mandy Stewart. Tell us, what is life insurance?
All right, so life insurance is the only way you can transfer risk from yourself, right? There are different types of life insurance. You have life insurance for critical illnesses. You have life insurance that covers life because you don't want to leave the financial responsibilities on your loved ones. And we also have the one that is popular for most persons, health insurance.
Yes.
All right.
You said to transfer the risk from yourself. Now break it down. For somebody like me that don't know anything about insurance, what does that essentially mean?
All right, when I say transfer risk from yourself, right, from an investment perspective, if you have long-term investments, some short-term investments meaning the regular savings that you have in your bank account, long-term investments if where you take advantage of equities, of bonds, right? Once you do some diversification, you have to include some insurance as a part of your wealth management. Look as simple as you drive a motor car, right? You don't drive it without insurance. And you know the best insurance on a motor vehicle will be comprehensive.
Yes.
Because in the event of loss, in the event of theft, in the event of, an accident, right? Exactly. You want to transfer that risk from yourself so the insurance company takes it on. It's similar to your life insurance.
Yeah.
Life insurance is one of those mediums that can use to channel away poverty from your generation.
All right, nice. That makes really sense.
This is the first I hear somebody put it in that
way. Yes.
I love it. So Tariq,
Mr. Anderson knows. Henrika, tell us why start now? Because everybody think that you must wait until you grow older.
Are you near death?
Yes, to invest in life insurance. But why start now?
Well, actually, the younger you are, the more healthy you are, and the less expensive it would be for future times to come. And as she said, you are protecting yourself from financial loss. So therefore, by the time you are old, you will be insured enough to protect yourself from death or so forth.
And I see Mandy's face like she wants to jump in on it. So tell us why start now.
Why now?
Definitely. There are so many advantages in starting life insurance from now. And we're on Talk Up Youth. So definitely we need the youths to take out life insurance, right? Now, normally the eligibility age for life insurance is from age 18. And the beauty about this is that at a young age, you can take advantage of the maximum coverages because the cost of insurance is determined by your age and the coverage that you want.
All right. Sorry about that, technical difficulties, but proceed, Mandy. You were saying cost is determined by?
The cost of insurance is determined by your age and the coverage that you want. So right there you know that the younger you are, the cheaper the insurance is and the higher the coverage.
So Mandy, when you say the cheaper the insurance, give me a starting rate. If I was supposed to go in tomorrow to NCB and take out an insurance on myself, what would be the starting rate and what benefits?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 23.
Oh, sweet. Insurance for you is definitely inexpensive, right? Right off the bat, I can give you a $9 million coverage for about $5,000 monthly.
Lies.
No joke. And I'm giving you $5 million to cover for critical illness. So that's cancer, heart attack, stroke, paralysis, blindness, deafness, loss of speech, coma, and $4 million for accidental death and dismemberment.
No, sir.
And a possible $12 million payout if the death is due to an accident. So you're looking at $5 million for critical illness, $4 million basic coverage for accidental death, and if death is due to an accident, so you're getting $4 million for the basic death, but just death itself, whether it's natural, but in this case we're speaking of accidents, and an additional $3 million for the accident death. So you're looking at a $7 million payout to your beneficiaries right? And a $5 million coverage. for critical
Channeling
illness.
poverty away from your family.
That's true.
Channel poverty.
Mandy, I have a question though, because the reason why a lot of persons aren't really looking into life insurance at this age, or even some persons in the mid-30s and 40s, even though I think it's becoming a popular trend now, is that persons are thinking, say, you're planning my death, or what is going to happen afterwards? Is it that? And then we do hear some stories of persons who are going out of their way to try and scheme these type of things. So what advice would you have to give to persons like that?
There's one thing appointed unto man, and that is death, right? And death and sickness has no respect for age, right? So the younger you are, this generation now is way smarter than our parents.
Yeah.
Right? Once upon a time, insurance was taboo in Jamaica. Not anymore. Because if you should take a mortgage right now, you need life insurance. You remember when I said channel the poverty away from your family? Right. Now, when you take out a mortgage from a financial institution and you attach or per se assign life insurance to that mortgage, what it means is that in the event of your death, the home stays in your family because
so
the insurance is going to pay out that mortgage.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Makes sense. Like, I'm stumped because as she said that in our generation, well, not in our generation, but generally life insurance seems just like this topic that you wait until you're up in age to discuss, but it's something that we should all look into at any age because death has no respect of persons and we want to channel the poverty away from our family. Thank you so much for joining us, Mandy. Thank you so much for joining us, Tariq. And with that, I want to say a big thank you as well again to the NCB Foundation. But before we go, I want to hear from you, Mandy. Do you have one lasting thing that you'd want to say to our listeners?
Okay, so I am located at the Kingston Spring branch. I'm the advisor for that branch. It's simple to open a life insurance. All you need is your ID, TRN, proof of address, and if you already have an NCB account, that's even better, right? That's basically it. As low as $3,500. As a Jamaican term, half a bread is better than no bread at all, right? So you can start off with a coverage, and as time goes on, you can always increase your coverages on your life insurance.
Yeah, man. Something I want to ask, so proof of address.
All right.
For young persons.
Proof of address for young persons. If you have your ID, so your national ID, right? And if the address on the national ID is still where you live, that is a proof of address.
Okay.
Your driver's license is also a proof of address, and you can always, if mails come in your name, that is a proof of address. You can even send a mail to yourself, right? Yeah. No, just to get your proof of address. Let it go through the post, right? And then that is a proof of address.
Wow, okay, I didn't think of it that way. Yes. Terry, to you, anything that you want to say? One last thing that you want to say to the youth?
Well, first I can say, man, to see you early Monday morning.
I tell you.
I must say it's beautiful to be out here in the community of Tivoli Gardens, experience and speaking with youth and getting the opportunity to collaborate with each other and see Monday morning. All
right. Yeah, man. With that being said, I want to just thank the representatives from the NCB Foundation for just doing that segment just now. We have to take a break. We're going to come back in a few minutes. But before we go, we have this thing that we love to do on Talk Up You. I think Tariq knows it. When we say Talk Up You, you're going to Talk Up You, Miss Effie, and then you're going to join us and say Talk Up You. So I want us to sound as powerful as we can. 1, 2, 3. Talk Up You, Miss Effie.
Wait. Error. One more time. Talk Up You, Miss Effie. Talk Up You. Nice. We'll be right back.
Rich, we say, that is the plan. We're for rich in mind, rich in body, rich in spirit. I want to say hello to all the radio listeners out there. This is Empress Golding. You know, I like to come into the community when the young people on the radio show are out and about and touch a microphone and say, hi, Tivoli youth, how are you? You're good? Especially those listening on their 90 FM dial in the homes around the community. It's nice to come into Tivoli because I have always admired, when we talk about Real Rich on Instagram, I've always admired the faces of Tivoli's Instagram advocacy. You understand? It is a great Instagram page.
Yes.
So I want you all to go on and support them. Shakira and Demo, are you doing good?
Yeah,
right?
we're doing well. We learned a lot today. And it was really good to talk to the persons, especially Shaquille, hearing about Faces of Tivoli, which has been doing excellent work in the community, and some of the other training institutions, the things that have developed, because we understand that this place is coming from rich history, and it's the history, the foundation that helped to shape the people that came out of it. So we had a good time here, Demoy, right?
Yeah, man. From the start of this day, it was a bit off because the same issues that, Shakir touched on, the whole perception of Tivoli, I had a first-hand encounter with that, coming today. But so far it has been good. The people have been friendly. I was lost earlier and somebody said, yeah, the people them up there say, go man, brother, don't worry yourself.
And first time you come to Tivoli, Demoy?
Me too.
I think you all need to thank Talk Up Radio for your tours, your community tourism opportunities.
For true.
Listen, I've come in, I think I've been to every single community, and I remember when my husband and I were on a radio show called The Corner on another station, and we used to travel to every single community and sit in a community for 1 week.
Wow.
And I'm encouraging all young people to tour your island.
Yes.
And go in to different communities, and don't let no barrier and no border stop you from building together. Now there's one issue I'm seeing here, and I want to come in with Shaquille. Lord of mercy. Shaquille, you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay. But I will just get the pronunciation of my name correctly.
I'm going to get it right. Shaquille.
Yeah,
Mr. Henry, the Faces of Tivoli. No, we know that Tivoli has a rich history, but also, see the youth, young ladies, come in. Young ladies, we're in the community center if you want to know. We're going to be here until 2 o'clock, right? Mapping the needs of the community. And we're not on air till 2. But after we finish at 1 o'clock, we'll stay. And if you want to come over to the community center so we can talk about community development as young people trying to bring change, then come and talk to us. No, my brother, Faces of Tivoli. Tivoli, when you say Tivoli internationally, from time begun, people say garrison, them say politics,
ghetto.
Them say ghetto. What else do they say?
Slum, everybody,
the slum.
They call it the Baka wall. That's the
Baka wall. Keep going. And all of the other crime that has happened, incursion, and all of the other things that's happened in Tivoli has put Tivoli on the global map. What we need to do is change the face of Tivoli, which is what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
But why are the young people not out here in the community center? When we said Talk Up Youth, come in to develop the community, why weren't you able to mobilize the young people as we asked you to do? Yes, Talk Up Youth,
right,
Giuseppe. Talk Up Youth.
No, I just returned on the island last Friday, so as a Monday that passed, I started to go out in the community, ensuring that everybody know about it. I met with Kevin on Tuesday in terms of getting the facility up to date and give him a site visit of the facility. And then I've been out in the community and telling the young people that this Saturday, Talk Up Youth will be in the community to ensure that you guys are at the community center at approximately like 10:30. So this morning when I get up around from like 6:30 to do some assignments. So I was doing some assignment. Then Christina called me around 8. Angelica called me around. Why is it Christina?
She calling our names.
I miss Christina. Yeah, Angelica called me around 8. So I come over the center and then we clean up and everything. But we're looking for the turnout to be a bigger one. But you know that.
But this is a problem everywhere. Whenever it's conscious, whenever it's about development and empowerment, we have found in many of the communities that the young people would rather come to a dance where they might get free things than come to a conscious educational and social development network. This is a change that we need to start with. Changing the mindset and getting excited about the positive things. I'm not saying music is not positive. Music is positive, but that alone can't save we. And we need to understand that. So I want to thank you for the work you're doing. All right? I want to thank all our listeners for tuning in as I throw it over to Shakira and Demoy, our lovely hosts on the corner. All right, in the community. We'll come roll out in a Tivoli, and I'm going to ask them to close the show and thank them for the good work. And so happy that you got a chance to tour. Demoy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Empress. One thing I can tell you, if I didn't miss anybody, I missed Empress.
All right, so we're gonna go now, sadly, but before we go, we just want to say thank you to everybody that assisted with making today's broadcast great. We want to say thank you to our engineer on location, Mr. Damian Cunningham, our technical operator in studio, Andrew Anderson, business development executives Kimon Smith and Jackie Wong. Location, we were today at the Tivoli Gardens Community Center. We want to say thank you to them for hosting us. Thank you again to Digicel, to NCB, Cranwater, National Baking Company, everybody that contributes to making today a success.
Yeah, man. I also want to say thank you to Shaquille. Did I get it right? Shaquille Henry. Hope you now look for me. Shaquille Henry from the Faces of Tivoli and the Police Youth Club. Also want to thank Shikara Dockery from Tivoli Gardens Police Youth Club and also from Faces of Jamaica. Want to thank Imani Jones as well. Imani, yeah man, remember we're supposed to talk afterwards. Imani Jones from the Tivoli Gardens Police Youth Club and also Faces of Jamaica. Andrew Booth from the band. The Tivoli Gardens band.
Right?
Yeah, man. Also want to thank Jervan Robinson and Reverend
Chantiloop
for
joining us. Yes, from the Paradise Trading Academy. Want to say thank you to Empress Golding as well for the platform. Thank you to Nationwide 90 FM, everybody that contributed today.
Yeah, man. Also want to say special thanks to Damian Scarlett, who joined us as well. And we have Khalil Hutchinson and Andrew Wilray from University of Technology, who will be here for the next session. Want to thank you guys so much for joining us today.
NCB Foundation Minute, all the Tivoli Gardens community youth for coming out today, all of the persons that came on board listening, and we had fun. What was your takeaway, Demoy?
My takeaway from today, as I said, it really started on a bad note because I'm probably going to have to talk about this afterwards. But, you know, coming into Tivoli, seeing what Tivoli really is about, you know, listening to what persons would have had to say prior to, because persons who listened last week call and say, oh, them why you go down to Tivoli next week? Be careful and stuff like that. And being in Tivoli, enjoying myself. I'm looking forward to walking to the shop later to go get some food, because, you know, Andrika will second this. We can't leave and not taste the people them cook shop food. That is why, you know, I'm looking forward to talking and interacting with the young people of Tivoli Gardens, you know, divulging really into the issues and finding solutions to these issues, because that really is what we are about.
And it is again our fourth stop in the Talk Up Youth Community Outreach Project. And I think one of the things that kind of surprised me every time that we go on location, it's just how different, significantly different, the outside hearing about the community is from the actual coming into the community and talking to the people. And I think that's one of the things, that's where we have to start. We have to break that stigma attached to our communities. You know, we have to try and change Jamaica one community at a time, starting with initiatives like this. You just have to always big up Talk Up Youth, because you know, this platform has indeed helped to inspire a lot of our youth, you know, to inspire change. And today might not have been the turnout that we wanted, but we know that going forward and trying to mobilize them with this new drive and inspiration that we got today, you know, it's gonna be a blast.
I think I'm interested in talking to Faces of Tivoli and to see how I can probably work with them, because I think the initiative is great. You know, what persons have been saying about Tivoli on the outside is much different from what is actually happening within Tivoli, and the fact that we have a youth-led organization that is championing this cause, you know, changing the outlook of Tivoli, changing the perception of Tivoli Gardens. I think that is something that we can probably talk to them about. Also want to thank the police officers in and around the community. Officers, big up yourself, big up yourself. I want to thank Miss Donna. Them would have killed me when I thank Miss Donna. Miss Donna, anyway, you're there, big up yourself. Also want to thank Auntie Bev, who is listening every week. Dedicated Auntie Bev. Auntie Bev, thank you very much. Me tell somebody I'm going to pick you up when I come back.
And we also have to let you guys know two things, two very, very big things. The Talk Up Youth television show is actually starting this Wednesday on October 3rd. And every time we talk about it,
you just see Shakira, I am so excited.
Trust me, every time I talk about the show, I get excited because just watching a platform manifest where our men or Jamaican men are going to be able to talk and let us hear what's going on in their heads, because you know that thing here in Jamaica is that men don't really talk a lot.
Yeah, man.
So a show where they're gonna just lay it all down. I'm really, really excited. So it's October 3rd on TVJ, and we have to say that our next location where the Talk Up Youth Outreach Project will be stopping next is the community of Augustown, and that will be on October 27th. Augustown, we're coming to you, so get ready to come out and network and vibe with us when Talk Up Youth comes to give you a voice, the voice of Augustown on October 27th. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next week.